Hello there, everybody. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Rodney Harris. Hope you're off to a good start to your Friday. My goodness, it was cold this morning. A lot of us dropping into the teens, but here's the deal. Later on this afternoon, we do warm into the low 50s, which is closer to average. So I do think that today's going to turn out to be a great day, sunny skies. I know what's on everybody's mind is Sunday, so I want to get right to that right out of the gate. I'm going to talk a lot more about Sunday to come, but this map that you see on the right-hand side of your screen is sort of our idea of where we think the snow chances are for Sunday. So let's take this full so you can get a better idea of what's happening. We have this storm system that we're still tracking that's well south of us. It's really a system that's impacting the Gulf Coast states. And we're going to be on the northern edge of this system. So over the past 24 hours, our models have trended drier for Metro Atlanta. Some of our models, the two models that we've been looking at really all week, still paint what might be some light snow in the southeastern portions of our region. So for those of you in like Edenton or Griffin or Thomaston, you may still see a little bit of snow early on Sunday morning. I believe Metro Atlanta is mostly dry. Here's the thing though, we do have some models that are still trying to bring some of this up to like I-85. So we can't completely remove the snow chances for Metro Atlanta, but I'd say in Atlanta it's probably more like 10% for Sunday. And then as you get further south toward Edenton and Thomaston, more like 20%, which is still low. So we don't believe we're going to have a significant event here in North Georgia. That snow will be more in central Georgia and South Georgia, but there is still the potential southeast of Atlanta. It's not a zero chance in Atlanta, but it's like a 10% chance. We do believe that it's trending drier. It's really interesting because our models, some of them are showing what you see on your right, but then there is a model or two that's still trying to kind of keep it further north up to I-85. So we can't completely remove the rain chances for Metro, although we do believe that we're trending drier, and we're not going to see a significant event in Metro Atlanta. So that's sort of the bottom line for Sunday. Now I want to get to your forecast for today because here's the improvement I'm talking about. Again, we were in the teens this morning, a lot of us, low 20s, and now we're already up to 39. That's still cold, but we're going to keep going up. So later on this afternoon, highs will be in the low 50s. Our average is the low 50s, so we will be at average later on this afternoon, which is why today is not a first alert weather day. I know it's chilly out there and it was super cold this morning, but it'll turn out to be average later on this afternoon. In fact, let's check out those highs. Our high today in Atlanta will be 52. The normal is 54, so we're closer to average. Now, for perspective, we were only in the 30s yesterday in the afternoon. So that's why yesterday was a first alert. But in the 50s, that's much better today. So even though it's chilly, it's average, so we're not going to first alert today. But it will turn out to be nice, plenty of sunshine. We do have some rain chances in your forecast tonight, so I want to walk you through the high-resolution forecast model. All of Friday will be dry. After midnight, this rain is moving into North Georgia and Metro Atlanta, so most of us will be asleep while this rain is falling, very similar to what we saw last week where that rain happened overnight going into Saturday. We'll do that again. No severe weather, though, this time. And then by 6 a.m., you can see we still have rain out there. So if you have something to do in Metro Atlanta, like before 7, we still have some rain in your forecast in Metro Atlanta. And I also want to point out, if you are in the highest elevations of the Northeast Georgia mountains, we keep talking about Sunday, there may be a mix in the mountains again tonight going into Saturday. It wouldn't be much, but that is possible for those of you in like Raven County, maybe Towns or Union County, the highest elevations of the mountains. The overwhelming majority of us, though, will see just rain. And then notice that after 6 a.m., that rain quickly moves out. So for the rest of your Saturday morning, when most of you get up, that rain's over. Saturday afternoon and evening will be dry. So here's a look at that 7-day forecast. 20% chance of rain. That's early Saturday. And then I'll point out there may be a shower or two like late Saturday night, too. So that's what that 20% is for. And then Sunday, that 20% is because of what may still be some precipitation, some snow showers south and east of Atlanta. I want to walk you through this system. This is 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. Again, this is a southern system. So the center of this particular storm system is along the Gulf Coast states. That's why most of the precipitation will be south of us, where most of the moisture is. I want to zoom in to North Georgia. This is our model, one of our models. This is a pretty good idea of what we believe will happen. That pink that you see is a mix of rain and snow on Sunday morning, and the white is snow. So that's our actual forecast model. Again, both of the models that we've been looking at all week long are basically showing this scenario. Winter weather possible for Upson County, Lamar Pike County, Butts County, Jasper, Putnam County, but then northwest of there it does have Metro Atlanta dry. I am going to point out that even though this particular model doesn't have any winter weather for Metro Atlanta, there is a model or two that's still trying to show that north of I-85. So we're not going to say there's a 0% chance of snow in Atlanta, but we do believe it's a low risk because our models have trended further south over the past 24 hours. So that, again, is the map that I'll show you for Sunday. Metro Atlanta northward, we're trending drier, which means that even if we do see a flurry or two, it won't be that big of a deal. But if you're in Edenton, Griffin, or Thomaston, stay weather ready for Sunday, which is still a first alert because you may still see some snow showers. That's something we'll keep you up to date on. We've been looking at some accumulation maps, and even if you do see a few flurries southeast of Atlanta, we're not really seeing that accumulating. That all will happen further south into central and south Georgia. What will happen on Sunday is it'll get cold again. So the first alert yesterday was because we didn't really get out of the 30s in the afternoon. So it was cold all day. Even though it was cold this morning, we warmed into the 50s today. So today's not a first alert. Tomorrow we're back in the 50s. That's not a first alert. But notice what happens Sunday. In the morning, it's feeling like the teens. And then by Sunday afternoon, our wind chills are going to stay in the 20s for much of the afternoon. So we have the first alert for Sunday, not so much because of the snow, but because it's going to be uncomfortably cold all day on Sunday. As we take you to 3 o'clock, we still have those wind chill temperatures, for the most part, in the 20s. If you're southeast of Atlanta, you might hit freezing, but those wind chills are still going to be cold on Sunday. So I want you to know that there will be a difference in how it will feel for you Saturday afternoon versus Sunday afternoon. It will feel colder Sunday afternoon. And we wanted to first alert that so you know that, because the temperature is going to go up this afternoon. It'll go up again on Saturday afternoon. We don't want you to catch that temperature drop off guard on Sunday. So that's why we're first alerting, let you know it's going to feel like the upper 20s basically all day on Sunday. So prepare for that. Headed out to church, headed to brunch on Sunday. And again, we'll keep you up to date on what is now a low chance for snow, mainly south and east of Atlanta. There's your 7-day forecast. It's going to stay cold heading into next week. If you're doing anything for MLK Day, we're going to start 28 on Monday morning and only up to 47 Monday afternoon. So Martin Luther King Day is going to be cold as well, and we're going to keep cold weather in your forecast for much of next week. After this weekend, our next best chance of rain will come on Thursday, so we'll keep you up to date on that as well. I want to take you back to this model to give you an idea of what we're expecting on Sunday, because, again, I know that's what everybody wants to know about. You'll definitely want to stay weather ready here over the next 24 hours. If you haven't downloaded our First Alert Weather app, make sure and do that, because we'll continue to provide updates as we get our model data in. But that's a pretty good reflection of what we think will happen Sunday morning. Metro Atlanta, mostly dry, if not completely dry. If you're north of Atlanta, you will definitely be dry. And if you're southeast of Atlanta, specifically for those of you in Upson, Lamar, Pike, Butts, Putnam, Jasper counties, you do have still a low-end 20% chance of some snow showers Sunday morning before that starts to move out by Sunday afternoon. So first alert meteorologist Stella Dorsey, she's going to have an update for you on Atlanta News First at noon. You can always get your updates right here on Atlanta News First Plus and in our First Alert Weather app. We hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day today, which will be a fairly normal day temperature-wise. So again, I know it was super cold this morning, but it will turn out to be a great afternoon with temperatures near average in the 50s. We'll keep you up to date on Sunday, and we'll see you soon.
Stay up to date on your latest weather from the largest team of meteorologists in the Southeast. Download the First Alert Weather app for hour-by-hour forecasts and join us every weekday at 11:30 a.m. on ANF+. You can also text WEATHER to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.